Hello, I'm Adam Newman. This is my official YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support them. CBS Young and the Restless. Spoilers full. Welcome back to our channel, fellow GC addicts. Today is just another day of me sitting in front of my screen, but after what just dropped, I am absolutely buzzing. Grab your coffee or your wine because we have a lot to unpack right now. I cannot believe they did that. I am sitting here literally shaking because my mind is blown to absolute pieces. I just finished watching the latest episode, and I am typing this up at 2 a.m. because I need to get this out of my system before I explode. Are you kidding me right now? We all knew something was off with Nikki lately. We knew about the worsening headaches, the weird vibes, the tension with Victor when he confronted her about her health. But this is the most insane, unhinged, absolutely brilliant, but infuriating twist I have seen on this show since I started watching years ago. Matt Clark is Nikki's biological son. I need a minute. I need a literal minute to process this because I am screaming at my television. Of all the people in Genoa City, of all the villains, it had to be him. So let's back up because I am getting way ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. Victor is snooping around, right? He stumbles upon this old, sealed medical file. And you know Victor Newman. He cannot leave a sealed file alone. He opens it, and boom, the bomb drops. Decades ago, way before she ever met Victor, before the stripper days at the Bayou, before the Newman Empire was even a thought in her mind, Nikki had a baby in secret and gave him up for adoption. And that baby grew up to be none other than Matt Clark. Matt freaking Clark. The absolute monster who has been terrorizing this family for years. I'm sorry, but my jaw is still on the floor. How long have the writers been sitting on this? Did they plan this when Matt first showed up, or is this a massive retcon? I don't even care because the drama is too good. And let's just talk about Victor's reaction for a second because Eric Braeden deserves an Emmy for that look alone. The sheer, unadulterated rage in his eyes. Victor's anger is just exploding off the screen. And honestly, can you blame him? Because think about the absolute irony of this entire situation. Victor is the one who brought Matt to the Newman Ranch. Victor, in all his arrogant, controlling glory, decided to move Matt onto the property to spy on Kane Ashby. He thought he was playing 4D chess with this amnesiac villain. He thought he was using Matt as a pawn to protect his business interests. But the universe just handed Victor the biggest slap in the face in soap history. He literally invited his wife's secret, psychotic son into his home. He handed the enemy the keys to the castle. But what really gets me, what is actually making me furious, is Nikki. Am I the only one who is completely disgusted by her right now? Because Victor catches her sneaking around, caring for Matt. And it wasn't just a pity check-in. The show specifically highlighted her looking at him with a mother's eyes. A mother's eyes? Are we serious right now, Nikki? You are looking at the man who is systematically trying to destroy your actual children with love and affection. I know some people are loving this maternal conflict, but personally, I am sick to my stomach. She is totally ignoring the trauma he caused. She is brushing off the fact that this man is a walking nightmare just because she birthed him decades ago. Nikki has made some terrible choices in her life. We've seen her join cults. We've seen her struggle with drinking. We've seen her make a mess of things. But this maternal instinct for a literal killer is a completely new low. It's like her brain has completely short-circuited. Wait, let me just list this out because I feel like we need a reminder of who Matt Clark is. This is the guy who set up Nick in Vegas. He laced Nick's drugs with poison, leaving him writhing on the floor of an abandoned gas station. Nick literally crashed his car into a cliff and almost died because of Matt's sick games. Nick was on life support, his brain almost permanently damaged, and Nikki was sobbing in the hospital, screaming about how she would make whoever did this pay. And now she is nursing him? What kind of twisted hypocrisy is this? How do you look at the man who almost put your golden boy Nick in a grave and feel maternal warmth? I am so frustrated with her character right now. It makes absolutely no sense, but at the same time, it is peak soap opera drama. And don't even get me started on Sharon. Poor, traumatized Sharon. She is currently living in sheer terror because Matt is on the ranch. Matt sexually assaulted her. He kidnapped her and Noah in Vegas. He held them at gunpoint while Nick was overdosing. And Victor completely ignored her trauma to bring Matt to the ranch. But now Sharon has to find out that her abuser is her former mother-in-law's biological son. Sharon is never going to get justice. Nikki's going to protect Matt now. I can see it happening from a mile away. Nikki is going to use his amnesia as an excuse. Oh, he doesn't remember Victor. He's a new man. He's my son. No. Just no. Sharon deserves better than this. And if Nikki actually tries to integrate Matt into the family, I am going to riot. And what about Noah? Noah is literally right in the middle of opening his new club, the Shadow Room, trying to build a life and move on from the horrors of Vegas. And his own grandmother is coddling the man who held a gun to his head. It makes me sick. I've been watching for years, and this is honestly the most massive betrayal I have ever seen in the Victor and Nikki saga. And they have been through everything. Remember when Victor faked his death? Remember when Nikki shot Diane? Yeah, they survived all of that. But this? I don't know if Victor can survive this. Victor's pride is his most prized possession. The fact that his wife kept a secret of this magnitude for decades is one thing. But the fact that this secret is Matt Clark, the ultimate Newman enemy, is a completely different level of betrayal. Victor feels betrayed by Nikki, yes, but he also feels betrayed by fate. He is completely losing control, and Victor Newman does not do well when he loses control. He is going to lash out, and it is going to be ugly. I mean, think about the conversations that are going to happen when the rest of the family finds out. Nick is going to lose his absolute mind. Nick has been trying to trigger Matt's memories, just so he can have the satisfaction of beating him to a pulp with a clear conscience. Nick hates this man with a burning passion. And now he has to find out that this monster is his half-brother? The psychological mess this is going to cause Nick is immeasurable. He just got out of rehab, he just survived a drug-induced car crash, and now he has to sit at the Thanksgiving table with Matt Clark? I am dreading it, but I am also completely here for the drama. Nick is probably going to relapse again, just from the sheer shock of it all. And Victoria. Victoria has been panicking about Nikki's severe headaches, begging her to see a doctor. We all thought it was just her MS flaring up. But no, it was the stress of hiding her psychotic secret son. Victoria is going to be so disgusted. Victoria hates anyone who threatens the Newman legacy, and Matt is a walking, talking threat. I can already see Victoria teaming up with Victor to try and run Matt out of town, while Nikki stands in their way like some tragic martyr. It's going to be a bloodbath. Victoria is not going to accept this man as her brother. Never in a million years. And what about Adam? Victor literally ordered Adam to babysit Matt at the ranch. Adam has been watching this guy like a hawk, trying to figure out if his amnesia is real. Adam hates Matt because of what he did to Nick. And now Adam's going to find out that Matt is technically his stepbrother? The family tree is just a circle of trauma at this point. I kind of want Adam to be the one who exposes Nikki's secret to the rest of the world. Because you know Adam loves to watch the Golden Newman family crumble. Imagine Adam's smug face when he realizes the perfect Nikki Newman birthed the devil himself. It is going to be cinematic gold. And can we talk about the legal and corporate implications of this? Because you know Victor's always thinking about the business. Newman Enterprises is his baby. If Matt Clark is legally Nikki's son, does he have a claim to anything? I know he was given up for adoption, so legally it might be severed. But in soap opera land, DNA means you get a seat in the boardroom. Imagine Matt Clark, the man who has been trying to destroy them from the outside, suddenly getting a corner office at Newman Enterprises because Nikki feels guilty about abandoning him. Victor would literally burn the building to the ground before he let that happen. It makes me wonder if Victor's plan to use Matt to spy on Kane Ashby is completely out the window now. How can he trust Matt to do anything when Matt might just be playing them all? The power dynamics at the ranch are completely flipped upside down, and I am living for every single second of it. It's honestly crazy how the show's firing on all cylinders right now. Like, we have Jack panicking because Diane is missing and Patty Williams is playing mind games with him. We have Sally dealing with her heartbreaking miscarriage after fleeing from Billy. And now this? The writers are not letting us breathe. But this Victor and Nikki storyline is taking the absolute crown. Victor's looking at his wife and seeing a stranger. He's seeing a woman who can look past the attempted murder of their son just because she shares DNA with the attacker. I don't think Victor can forgive this. He cannot forgive someone aligning with an enemy. You have to remember Victor's psychology here. The man grew up in an orphanage. He was abandoned. He values family loyalty and absolute devotion above all else. So finding out that his wife not only abandoned a child, but that this specific child grew up to become the very monster torturing his family, it hits every single one of Victor's deeply rooted childhood trauma buttons. No wonder he is exploding. It's not just a betrayal of their marriage, it's a betrayal of everything Victor stands for. And Nikki is actively choosing Matt in these quiet moments. Catching her caring for him, fluffing his pillows, or whatever she was doing, was the ultimate knife in Victor's back. I am just so emotionally invested in this mess. Part of me wants Victor to throw them both off the ranch. Part of me wants Nikki to snap out of it and realize that Matt is a sociopath, amnesia or not. Because let's be real, is Matt even really amnesic? I bet he found out Nikki was his mom, and this whole thing is a long con to infiltrate the Newman fortune and destroy Victor from the inside out. If Matt is faking this, and he is just using Nikki's maternal guilt to get close to the family, I am going to scream. Actually, I am already screaming. I need to know what you guys think. Am I being too hard on Nikki? Is anyone actually feeling sorry for her? Because right now, I am Team Victor all the way. Let me know in the comments. Because I cannot process this alone.